It's your boy AJ back with another freaking video, and today I'm here with a story time, honey. I'm with a story time shout out. Before we even get to the story time, shout out Amanda, shout out Mary, girl, because these are the girls that motivate me, motivate me. Girl, they motivated me to get in front of this camera and tell this story time today. So you guys, I didn't know I was gonna tell the story time today. I have had this story sitting around to be told for a minute now, but girl, it is time. It is time to drag McDonald's, okay? It is time to drag McDonald's. So without further ado, girl, let's run the intro. And we're gonna get directly to the story because you know I don't want to hold y'all. We got a lot of things to talk about today, okay, girl? So roll the intro. We're gonna get directly into the story because I cannot believe this story. I can't believe I had to go through this. So this story happens in 2020, you guys. Now 2020 was it was a year for me, girl. Now I had packed all my stuff and I had went all over when I packed all my stuff. I packed a couple things and I had flew to Atlanta and I was working for a couple people. I was a graphic designer for like almost six people, like 5 or 6 people, and I was like making my money from these different people. I was making websites for certain people, then I was running somebody's Instagram, then TikTok was just blooming, so I was making TikToks for certain people, another person's account. So I was working for myself and I was making money. Now girl, I was making shebang where I had enough money where I could go out to Atlanta, rent me an Airbnb for a month or two, and be out living life now. Girl, that's what I did. I went to Atlanta. I was making my money. I wouldn't let it make me, girl. I was doing what I had to do, but I got homesick. And I said, I want to come back to Memphis. Girl, I came on back to Memphis and I just felt so happy, girl. I felt so liberated. I remember the first night I was here, I was shaking. Wow. I was so liberated, but I said, look here, I felt like working for myself and just working just for other people with their brands and stuff like that. It was kind of boring, girl. I miss working with the customers and X, Y, and Z. So I was like, I want to get me a normal customer service job, but I didn't know what to do. Now I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I could work here, maybe I could do that. I was like, no, actually, let me do McDonald's. I was like, I never worked at McDonald's before. I said, I've never ever worked at McDonald's before. So let me go and apply for McDonald's. So I applied McDonald's, girl. Without me even leaving the damn web page, girl, I get a ring, ding, 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 ding. I said, oh, they really need people in there. I said, they need it. I said, they needed people. I said, they need people up in this McDonald's because I could barely apply for the job, leave the site before my phone was ringing. So my phone started to ring. I was like, hey, they was like, can you come in for an interview? You know, we loved your resume, X, Y, and Z. We want to speak with you. We would love an in-person interview. So I'm like, okay, we can do an in-person interview. I'm thinking maybe 2-3 days, 4-5 days next week, maybe. Girl, excuse me, I stay downtown. Girl, she tell me come tomorrow for an interview. I'm like, tomorrow? At first I'm thinking like, girl, I don't drive. I need to find a route. I need to figure out with my haircut. I need to figure out what I'm wearing. What you mean tomorrow? Hold on. Give a bitch 3-4 days. Okay, girl, give a bitch 3-4 days. But you know me being an OG. Okay, girl, I pulled that stuff together. I got everything done and I was able to get me a ride for my interview the next day. So I go to the interview, you guys, and she's telling me like which job is which. Like, hey, what position do you want? I was like, I'm not frying any patties. So I'm not frying any patties. No ma'am. Let's be clear here, okay? She was like, okay, you know, we have front desk, or you can either work drive-through. What you want to do? I said, well, you know, I have experience in drive-through. She was like, well, what time do you want to work? At this point, I'm speaking with a hiring manager. So I'm at the interview speaking with the hiring manager. We need to give her a name. Black Queen. We're gonna name her Black Queen. So Black Queen's like, what time do you know you want to work? And I was like, you know, I would love to work the mornings, but I would love to work the afternoons. I would love to work the night. Whatever you want to give me at this point, for really. I was like, really at this point, whatever you want to give me, girl. So she was like, okay, you know, this amount of money is what made us through the day and this is what's made at night. I'm like, well, I'm a night owl and I like that night check. So let me do the night check. And what time, how much was that an hour? That was $10 to $12 an hour. So that's what I had. The minimum of that I could be making an hour was supposed to be $10, but the highest I could make is $12. So it was $10 to $12 an hour. And I was like, okay, girl, that's cute. It's not $7.25. This McDonald's, I thought it was gonna be $7.25. Baby, she said 10 to 12. I said, okay. Where do I sign? So, baby, she told me I was hired on the spot. She said that McDonald's had some type of training. I didn't even know that McDonald's had like an actual training, but we had to go to this class. She was like, class is not until the end of the month. Hey, it's your boy AJ back with another freaking video, and I'm coming very quickly with some information that I want to tell y'all real quick, honey. If you don't know, now you finna know. Glory, glory. Y'all know that's my favorite phrase, honey, but I got something quickly to tell y'all. Look here, I have a membership. If you don't know, now you know. Once again, I gotta throw the punchline in once again, okay? I have a membership. Now, I have 2 different tiers because I know girls' pockets waging, and then we got girl eggs for $47 out here. We got the milk for $66, girl. Then and we can't find no formula, so ain't no things is crazy out here. So I said, look here, we're gonna do 2 different tiers for the girls because I don't want every girl have to spend they, you know, money for me because I know times are stressing. You need a puffer too. So I have 2 different membership tiers. I have one that's $1.99 a month, which is called Somewhat Messy. Girl, you somewhat messy, but you ain't that messy. But if you want all the tea, all the juice and everything, honey, I have a $6.99 tier. Now that one is, girl, it's everything, honey. Now let me tell you something. Both tiers, you get the both of the best worlds. You can call me Anna Montana. Okay, honey, you get the best of both worlds on both tiers. But if you want to support a girl and really, girl, help a girl move out all processes. What is it? Processing fee? Look at me, I'm trying to lie. I can't even lie straight. All of the money will be going to my new apartment. But for real though, I'm trying to get up out of here, girl. I'm trying to move. So if you want to support a baddie, make sure you go over down to my description box and click join us Messy Bottoms and pick whichever tier you want, girl, because both of them, they fit. They can tell you. All right, I love y'all so much, and I'll definitely see y'all very, very soon. Bye. So at the end of the month, you're gonna go here to this location. You're gonna bring this little paper, girl, and you're gonna go with your birth certificate and social security and everything, and then you're gonna sit there and take the class. So I wait to the end of the month, girl. End of the month comes, I take the class. Now I take the class or whatever, and they also tell me after you take the McDonald's registration class, you call the McDonald's like, hey, took my class, I'm ready to put on the schedule now. So I call back, I say, hey girl, is Black Queen up there? I passed my class in McDonald's, girl. They gave me my degree. They gave me my McDonald's degree. I'm ready to work now. So she says, okay, come in tomorrow, night schedule. So I come in the next day for my night schedule. Now working nights, that first night, it was cool. It was actually cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It's not too much to do. It was cool. I was learning what to do. I was figuring my ropes. But the manager that hired me, Black Queen, she wasn't there to do my first day registration. I guess that's what it is, like first day paperwork or something like that. Girl, first day where you sit there and you get all your information. So with that being my first day and I came in the night schedule, another manager was there to meet me, and I didn't know this manager at all, girl. I didn't know her from a fly on the wall, not a berry out of muffin. I didn't know her from nowhere. I didn't know her from nowhere. So I come in, I tell her who I am. She says, of course, you know, hey, we've been waiting on you. She sits down and I give her a couple other things. She's on the computer. She's putting information in, and she goes in to put my hourly rate, you guys, and the lady goes and puts $8. Now, no shade to the girls that made $8, but it's nothing I could have done with that. And definitely when I was told 10 to 12. Wait. There's a major difference here. There's a major difference here. There's a major difference here. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. So I'm like, I don't think it was 8 p.m. So of course, with this being night schedule, she wasn't able to call anybody and verify that I wasn't trying to get a double, triple bonus, which I think she should have understand because she worked nights and other people work nights. I think that I don't know why she would try to throw me $8 and everybody else in there making 10, 11, or 12. Okay, I don't know why she thought that was fashionable. I don't know why she thought that was fashionable, but she was like, I have to check with a couple people X, Y, and Z. So the night shift ends, honey, and I go look at the schedule. Now I'm looking at the schedule. I'm trying to see if my name's been put on the schedule so I can see what's the rest of the week. Like, what does the rest of the week look for me? So I look at the next day on the schedule of what time I'm supposed to come in. I'm trying to see if I'm coming in at 7 p.m. if I'm coming in at 8 p.m. Girl, it's giving early morning. I look at the schedule, they had moved me and they had me on days. They had me on days for the rest of the week. The only night day I had was that one night day that Black Queen had told me, like, hey, come in this time at night. Once I looked at the schedule was completely different from what I was told during my hiring process. So I'm like, I didn't really, ask to do mornings. We talked about nights. Then we talked about 10 to 11 to 12. One of them dollars. So it wasn't 8. I can tell you for sure it wasn't 8. I can tell you for sure it wasn't 8. So I'm like, it's a lot of things going wrong here. It's like, McDonald's is really McDonald's, and okay.
I tell you, I just slid my ass up out of the shoes, bitch.
So before I leave that night, I do pull the assistant manager that was there that put that wrong hourly rate in. I pull it to the side and say, hey girl, I was supposed to work nights. What's going on with this early morning? I gotta see y'all in the morning. I said, if I'm leaving here, like literally I had to, I don't know how the difference was, but literally I was leaving there and had to be right back in like 5 hours. Like, no lie, real shit. Like, wait a minute. So I'm like, hey girl, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if this accident, what's tea? And she was like, yeah, we wanted to bring you in one night and get you thrown into the mix one good time, but we're gonna have to train you during morning schedule because there's more people to work during morning schedule. We're able to be more hands-on and tell you what to do and do that, do. I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. Kudos. It makes round of applause. It makes sense, but that's not what it's given. That's not what it's given. Not for me. It's not giving that for me, but it makes sense. So the next morning, I come in, you guys, and I basically asked the morning shift managers that again. Now I haven't met the GM, the general manager, and Black Queen is there, the woman that hired me, and another manager. Now Black Queen, she was busy doing something else, and I wasn't able to do nothing but hi and bye. So I was able to pull this other manager aside. So I pulled this other manager aside. I'm like, hey, you know what's going on? I wanted to double. Basically, I wanted a second opinion on what I was told last night. I was like, hey, they put me on nights. They told me doing nights, but now they got me in mornings. What's going on? She once again, this other manager, she told me like, hey, most likely they want to bring you to mornings so you'll be able to learn a lot that you can. Then they'll put you back on nights. So I was like, okay, well, while I have you, she put in the wrong pay scale too, girl. Like, let's see with that. Yeah, so she tapped 8. I don't think she knew. I don't think she was due. I don't think she knew. She tapped 8. She supposed to hit 10, 11, or 12, whichever one, but it wasn't supposed to be 8. So she was like, oh, you know, we don't have grounds to change that or go up or fix it at all, so you have to speak with the general manager. Now, what are we going to name the general manager? Ike. We're going to name him Ike. Okay, Ike like Turner, Ike like Turner, Ike like Turner. Okay, so she was like, you got to speak with Ike, and you're going to tell him they clicked the wrong pay scale for me. Can you change it? Can you fix it? X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, okay, when does Ike come in? And she was like, Ike's supposed to come in later on today. He'll be here later on. He'll be here eventually. Ike's coming. Now, look here. More of the story, Ike didn't change it. Ike came in, Ike met, Greg, talked, sat down, told me everything that I needed to know about the company. Told me everything. He didn't tell me about when he was going to change my pay rate. He told me soon. It was soon, or I'm about to do it now. But he would always say, I'm about to do it now, but I would never see him go towards the computer to do it. So I'm like, now. Now, I never see him move towards the computer to actually start doing what he said he was about to start doing now. It was a little bit later, like never, like sometime, eventually. It didn't seem now. It didn't give now. So 2 weeks go past, girl, and I'm gonna be honest, the first 2 weeks was a breeze. I got introduced to a lot of the girls, and I actually ended up loving working mornings / afternoons because that's when a lot of people around my age group, because I had just turned 18, fresh out of damn high school, y'all. So I was like, I don't want to be with the old people dropping eggs. So I actually ended up falling in love with working afternoons and training and stuff like that. They told me 1 week of training, ended up to 2 weeks of training, honey, and I was living life. I ended up getting a whole lot of homegirls, meeting a whole lot of great people, and I was able to thrive. Okay, I was able to thrive. I said, I am the king of McDonald's. I said, baby, let me tell you something. I am the Burger King in the McDonald's. Okay, I am the Burger King in the McDonald's. Okay, I'm the Burger King. So, baby, I had a wonderful first 2 weeks. I was able to make great friendships with the managers, with some of the managers. Also, I was able to make great friendships, like I say, with some of the staff that will come in like second shift, like the people that will come after school. Whatever. Like, girl, yes, I was living. More people, like I said, more people in my age group. I had just turned 18. We got the people coming in that just clocked out of school. So, first 2 weeks, cool, normal. It was okay, but it wasn't really nothing crazy until after the 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, then once I got that check, and that check still didn't have my change pay rate on it, and I said, oh, Lord Almighty. So after the 2 weeks, the Black Queen quit. Oh, girl, after my first 2 weeks, the Black Queen quit. She quit when we got our checks. I remember that vividly. Oh, I remember that vividly. I remember getting the checks because they were paid. It wasn't no direct deposit. Ain't that got a it wasn't no direct deposit. Yeah, everybody would literally, the McDonald's would be packed. Oh, it would be packed with all the staff members, girl. All the staff members, people that you didn't even see because you didn't work that schedule. Girl, everybody would gather in and come and get their checks. So I remember that day vividly, girl. I remember after the 2 weeks, I'm loving it, no pun intended. I'm loving it, girl. I'm kicking it. I'm living a job. I'm living for the people. I'm figuring out what I'm supposed to be doing. So, girl, I remember vividly, I came into work and I was clocking in and I walked past the manager desk. Now, when I seen a big long note wrote with beautiful handwriting, and that beautiful handwriting is like very, like if you ever seen somebody's handwriting and you know them, like, okay, that's so-and-so's handwriting. I knew it was her. I knew it was Black Queen's handwriting because she had, of course, interview X, Y, and Z. So I knew her handwriting. So I'm like, girl, what type of long note she done wrote on this desk? So I'm looking at the note, girl. I'm reading the note, and as I read the note and get to the bottom of it, girl, I started to cry because she was quitting. And I said, what am I gonna do? I literally, girl, I grown so close to her over the 2 weeks. She was the woman that was training me. She took me up under her wing, girl. She was making sure I was good. She was protecting me. And it was a couple like crazy interaction of me just being Jalen. You know, I'm gonna be me regardless of where I'm at. And a lot of people, like cooks, didn't like that, you old perverted ass men. They didn't like that. So whenever they would try to do little slick stuff, she would interfere. So I absolutely like love Black Queen. She was truly a Black Queen. So when I'm reading this note, being all nosy, girl, supposed to be clocking in, but I'm sitting here reading the note. So I'm just speechless. I'm just speechless. I shed a tear. I go find her. I think she was outside smoking a black in her car. I'm like, with a face full of tears. Oh, you leaving? You didn't want to tell me. I'm like, literally, I'm breaking out. I'm telling her, like, girl, you leaving? You didn't want to tell me. So we end up having that moment, girl. And after that day, you know, she was never to be seen again. I mean, I seen her later on in life when I bumped into her somewhere, but she was never to be seen in that McDonald's again, okay? So Black Queen, she was just an assistant manager, but she should have had the general manager position. Like, she was running everything. She was opening early, girl. She was cleaning this, doing that, training that person, doing this. She was doing so much. She was making the schedule. She was doing so much. So once she left, girl, and then she left abruptly. Like, it wasn't no 2 weeks warning. It was about a 2.5 hour warning, girl. That's about it. So once she left abruptly, things went to shits. I mean, everything with the shits, girl. I mean, everything with the shits. I mean, it with the shits. It got so raunchy. Like, it was the true definition of McDonald's. I'm so sorry. Oh, Lord, I done messed up the money. Oh, sponsor me, please, McDonald's still. But, girl, it got ghetto. So after Black Queen left, my rate was still messed up. I got my first check. I'm angry about that. We have people quitting because she quit. Oh yes, we have people quitting because she quit. The schedules are not being made. The schedules is getting messed up. People was double, triple booked. There's not that many people on the schedule that's supposed to be on the schedule. It's only 2 people put on the schedule, or it's 22 people put on the schedule, girl. It was a mess. It was a mess. Oh my God. The once Black Queen quit, girl, the job went into shambles, basically. Now, I don't know where they got this man from, girl, but after the Black Queen quit, they pulled a black queer out of nowhere. I know, right? Girl, they pulled him out of nowhere. They pulled this black queer out of nowhere to run as an assistant manager and do the things that, you know, Black Queen was supposed to be doing because she left. So what we need to call him? We call him Black Queer Manager. Black Queer Manager, girl. Black Queer Manager. He had it out for me. I don't know why he had it out for me, but he had it out for me. I was just, like I say, vibrant. You know, I'm always vibrant. No matter if I'm quiet, talking, I'm just vibrant. People can always see my colors. And he did not like that people vibe with me and people loved my energy, no matter where it was, you know, the other managers or the other staff or either the customers. People love me and my energy. So at this point, I'm like 3.5 weeks into working. Things are getting spicy. Things are getting spicy. Now, I had a group of homegirls that like I told y'all about earlier, they were my homegirls. I would be waiting for them to get in, honey. So when they would get in, we would always see each other. We'd be like, hey, they'd be like, hey, bitch, and we'd be like, wow, we gangsta, okay? We from Memphis, girl. We da-da-da-da-da, woo-woo-woo, and da-da-da-da-da, fla-la-la-la, Megan Thee Stallion just got hot. It's 2020, girl. Like, what? Like, girl, please. Girl, we living. So, whenever we would see each other, that's how we would entice each other. We would be so excited, and we would just be dancing and whatever, girl. Whatever we would be doing. So, that's what I was doing one day. Now, I'm, you know, gunty. I'm living it up. Me and my girl living it up. She living it up. I'm living it up. We both living it up, okay? Now, Black, what the name of Black Gay Queer. That's what it is. Black Gay Queer came out of nowhere. Like a thief in the night. He came out of nowhere and he pulled me to the side. And he had to talk to me. And I'm like, what have I done? I said, I ain't done nothing but take orders, take money, put the money in the register, and go to the next person. What's going on? What you got to talk about? Huh? Now, Black Gay Queer pulls me to the side to tell me a complaint has been filed on little old me. I said, little old me? Little old me? What the hell I do? I said, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? He told me, girl, that one of the male cooks felt very uncomfortable because I was flirting with him. And also, I had started dropping my Majagger in front of him. And I said, now, you got me with the Majagger. And I didn't do it in front of him. I was probably at the front of the restaurant and he looked over the chicken nuggets to see me. But I'll give that to him. But flirting with his ugly, stanky, patty dropping ass, I could never. I was so angry and I was so disrespected for a gay queer to come to me and think I would be flirting with these ugly, disgusting, dirty, fry dropping bastards. What? Are you out of your mind?
Log out.
Are you out of your mind? So, gay queer pulls me to the side. He's like, yeah, I have a complaint against you because one of the cooks said that you were flirting with him and also one of the cooks said that you was dropping your Mick Jagger in front of them. Now, it was this other assistant manager, this young lady, I absolutely adore her. Me and her energy was the same thing. She comes in that same afternoon, you know, later on the afternoon after they done fussed at me for dropping my Mick Jagger and allegedly flirting with somebody. Now, he said it was just a warning. He wasn't going to do anything to me. Well, I mean, what could you do to me if I had done any of those things anyway? But I didn't do one of those things, and I dropped it hot halfway across the restaurant. So why the hell was he peeking through the peek hole to see me anyway 12 miles on the other side of the restaurant and figured out what I'm doing? So, anyways, like I say, say it was this other manager. She came in and she was coming in to relieve gay queer. Okay, she was coming to relieve gay queer. And I used to be, this was during the time where I was in that McDonald's for forever. Like literally, I used to work like 12, 16-hour days, like for real. Like it was so easy to me, communicating with customers, talking to customers. It was always so entertaining and fun to me. I didn't want to leave. Like I actually enjoyed it. Like McDonald's, I say this, even though I'm gonna drag this place, girl, it was my favorite job. It was my favorite job. It was my favorite job. It was the people in the environment that I had to work in that made me uncomfortable and results into the rest of this story. But I absolutely love McDonald's. Like girl, I love working at McDonald's because I have never worked anywhere that damn fun. Okay, I swear I have not. So this was during the time where I would literally bitch. I would see customers come for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I would see managers switch out and change because I was in there so long and so much.
Bro, I'm the only one on this fucking clock with overtime, bitch. I'm the only motherfucker with overtime.
And girl, they couldn't even really kick me out because they didn't really have that many people. So I used to be in there. So it was time for managers to switch. So gay queer, it was time for him to go. And it was time for this other assistant manager to come. Now I love her, vibe with her. She was a good vibe. And me and her would do our little pop, da 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 da, wop. We would do that when we seen each other. So, girl, she came in and I checked my surroundings. I made sure ain't nobody see me. I said, hey, is it a cook over there? Is gay queer over there? No, we're clear. So I said, I'm living my life. I'm living my life. And she, she living. We both living, girl. I know it's ghetto, McDonald's, right? So we both living. Now, because we making that noise, girl, the people behind the wall could hear that we were dot. They might not could see we was dotted, but they could hear that we was dotting. So you want to know what happens? I get dotted. I get dotted. Meaning, girl, I get caught. So Mr. Queer, he comes around the corner and he was like, didn't I just tell you to stop doing that? And I'm looking like, well, you said don't do it in front of the cooks. Cause they don't, feel comfortable. But I was thinking, since you were, queer, you didn't mind. That's how I was. That's literally how I was. I was like, no, literally, it's just me and her. Me and her, nobody can see me and her. Maybe y'all can hear a couple white dots behind the wall, a couple fry grease. Y'all need to be paying attention to the damn orders on the screen. Y'all need to be paying attention to what's going over here. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm telling him this and like literally, I'm not just saying this in my head. I'm literally telling him this because at this point, I'm heated, fanning me off that cheap spandex. Literally, at this point, I'm heated and I'm literally telling him this stuff, girl. And out of nowhere, before I could get my last sentence out, he said, you can clock out and go home. Now, once he says that, you know what I do? I say, okay, I'm gonna go home because one thing about it, I'm never gonna beg to stay on the white man's clock. Never. So you know what I do? Grab my Birkin Chanel, all of it, tail far in the back. Grab all three, and I proceed to go on home. Now, when I went home, I had 2 off days following, so it was like I was sent home the day before. I had like 2 off days, so it wasn't like a suspension or anything. It was just actually me being sent home, and my off days were to follow. So now I don't know if y'all like this, and I'm very toxic like this. Now, if I'm in an argument with somebody, get real heated, and I'm reading. If I go home on the ride home, I randomly something, I don't know, I'm not gonna say the devil, randomly somebody just pops in my head and say, you should have said this. So I'm like, girl, yes, I should have said this. So the whole 2 days I'm at home, off from work, I'm writing my reads down. I'm gathering. I'm ready to come back and gather queer. Oh my goodness, I'm ready to come back and gather black queer. Yes, I am. I am ready to come back and gather that man. I'm literally like, oh, I could have said this, I could have did this, I could have did it. I'm literally living it up. I'm literally figuring out what I could have done, what I could have X, Y, Z, how I'm going to proceed to see him when I come back. So I come back, girl. I walk on in. They tell me, before I could barely get both of my toes in the restaurant, they tell me, black queer quit. Damn. It was like, it was like a grand old announcement. Like people were running through prancing like the queen was dead or something. The witch was dead. I don't like how he was able to do that to me and try to embarrass me. And we have our argument back and forth. Then I think of some crazy things to say to him. And I come back to try to say it and he's not there. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So I come back to work. Like I said, black queer has quit. He's left. It's too much. He can't deal with it. It's too ratchet for him. So at this point we're back down to 3 assistant managers, 1 general manager, and things are back a train wreck and a mess. Okay, girl. I do like the other 3 managers, but they wasn't acting like Black Queen. How Black Queen held it together and how Black Queer actually, I'm gonna give it to him. We had our head bumps, but how Black Queer got things done and actually was actually working. those other 3 managers weren't doing their job. So we were back to 3 managers and 1 GM girl that was barely there. Okay, barely there. So this day, I don't remember what day it was in the time schedule, but I remember I was back working or whatever. So now I have a very like flavorful vocabulary. That's what I have, a very flavorful vocabulary, and how I talk to folks. It's just very not crazy. Like I'm always like, sweetheart, do you need anything? Baby, do you want me to do this? Baby, this. I'm very like gentle when I'm speaking. It gets Tabitha Brown. Baby, you fine, baby. It's fine, baby. It gets real that. I'm real Tabitha Brown when I'm speaking, and definitely if I'm comfortable with you. So I was on my Tabitha Brown in this McDonald's child. I was on my Tabitha Brown, and I had been on my Tabitha Brown since day 1. I had been on my Tabitha Brown like when talking with my homegirls. Like if they would carry, if I seen one of the girls carrying the tea, I'm like, baby girl, give me that damn tea. I got the tea. So that's how I would speak. I would speak like, baby, that whoop whoop doo doo doo. So I'm speaking this, baby, whoop whoop doo doo. It was, I didn't say it that much, but I would throw it in a couple sentences. Now the general manager pulls me to the side, y'all. I kid you not. He pulls me to the side and he pulls me to his office, and I want to explain this office because I keep saying office like it was a closed door. No, it was a wall between the niggas that was dropping the fries and the niggas that was behind the computer. It was a wall. It wasn't even a door. It was literally a wall. So he pulls me behind the wall. He pulls me behind the wall and he was like, you know, I've heard you say, you know, baby, in a couple sentences, and I want to just let you know that can be, you know, sexual harassment. What? I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired. It's thing after thing after thing after thing after thing. I said if I move this left leg, I'm in trouble for that. Move this right leg, I'm in trouble for that. Put this left arm up, I'm in trouble for that. Put the right arm up, I'm in trouble. What can I do? 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 And then I was getting picked on or in trouble. I want to say picked on. I don't want to say in trouble because I genuinely feel like it's picked on. I was getting picked on for things that were absurd. Like, why are you even paying attention? Like, what is giving nitpicking? It's like, Jalen, you're so good at your job. You're so perfect at your job. We have to just pick something to say about you. So I'm like, sexual harassment. Because I said, baby girl. No, like, what? What are you talking about? I literally I asked him, what are you talking about? I said, what are you talking about? He was like, those type of words can get you in trouble for sexual harassment. I was just like, I'm just scratching my head because I'm in disbelief again. But I was like, really? Okay. Alright, but before we end this conversation here, because at this point I'm talking to general manager. Like I told you, he's barely there, but he was there enough to know that I didn't want none of them bitches, okay? So I'm like, do you think I, you know, want to open any of their church doors around here? And I genuinely had to ask him that. And he actually bust out laughing when I asked him that. I just wanted to ask him because I didn't know if he overseen, if he was colorblind and he couldn't see the colors. I don't know. So I asked him, and he bust out laughing. He really didn't even answer me. He bust out laughing. He was like, boy, go back to work. So I'm like, what did you pull me behind this wall? And I want to say in this office, why did you pull me behind this wall to tell me to stop saying baby? I was over it. I was so freaking over it. So anyways, the next day comes. That was that situation that day. I just want to really show y'all why I showed my ass, how I showed my ass at the end of the story, okay? Because it was so many different things, so many different components, so many little bitty things I had to bring y'all in. So the next day I was working a long day, and I remember this specifically. Like I remember this, what is it, Pacifically? That's what it is. I remember that I had a long day the next day at work. They outside getting ghetto, y'all, so excuse them. So this day I had to work 11 to 7, baby. I had to work 11 to 7, and I got there, it was time to work. I would always get there a little early because I'd be home, so I would schedule in a little time to eat. That has nothing to do with the story. I just wanted to throw that out. I scheduled in a little time to eat, but I eat, whatever, clock in, it's time to work. Now, that day, I remember it wasn't that many people there because, child, he didn't make the schedule. And it was only like 2 or 3 people on the schedule, but it wasn't the full body of schedule. Now, I remember this being like a Sunday, and everybody had left on Saturday because the schedule was made from Sunday to Sunday. So, baby, if you left, you know, that Saturday, you come in, you do your work, X, Y, and Z. You're supposed to go look at the schedule before you clock out, then you see what time you come or what days you work next week. Now, baby, he didn't make that schedule. Come Saturday night, them folks came, they clocked out, they looked at the schedule, it wasn't nothing on the schedule, baby. They said, well, baby, you got to call my phone and I'll see you when you see you. So he was super late. Like I said, we were back down to a couple managers, and the managers that was there, they was not doing their job. So this manager was taking his precious time to make the schedule. But now me, I'm about my money, I'm about my bag. I'm very repetitive. I know if I've been working the same amount of hours doing this certain thing, even if the schedule's not made, I'm gonna come on in. That's how I am, because I'm about my bread. I don't give a damn if you got that schedule up or not. I need my money, honey. This ain't even about you, them fries, or that burger. Baby, this is about my damn money, okay? So I come on in to make my money. Now, like I said, I was working till 11 to 7, and and I think I worked that same schedule the previous day, so that's why I just came in at 11 and worked at 11 to 7 the next day. So I come in and do 11 to 7, nice breezy schedule. It's only a couple people working. I think we got like one person on front with him, with the general manager, then a person on grill, then I'm back on drive-through, and I'm working both lanes of the drive-through. So my day is coming to an end. It's almost time for me to go. Like, honey, I'm getting very excited. I think it's about 6 o'clock, probably 6 or 5 p.m. And the manager comes to me and he's like, do you mind staying tonight? He's like, nobody's coming in. I've been trying to call them and tell them like, hey, they're supposed to come in today. Nobody's answering me. Now, honestly, realistically, I don't care. 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 I'm leaving. I'm going home. I don't care. I don't care. Close this bitch down. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. But actually, I was like, look here, like I say, I'm working over late all the time. I'm always staying. I literally, when I tell you I like working at McDonald's, I was always there all the time, extra, late, early, whatever it was. So I was like, okay, I'll do that just one little day. Of course I'll stay tonight. Throw me some extra, throw me some extra money for the day. I go into overtime this time and a half. That's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'll work for you. I'll work with you, a couple extra hours because you forgot to make the schedule and nobody came in other than a couple people today. So of course, I'll help you. Also, I forgot that I gave this general manager a name. So his name was Ike. But since I've been calling him by general manager the whole time, we're just gonna call him general manager, honey. Just forget that I call him Ike. Now, I'm working in the back of the restaurant. Now, I don't know if y'all ever worked at a McDonald's, but when you work at a McDonald's and you work back drive-through, you're literally sedated. You're literally by yourself. You're by yourself. You're in the back of this restaurant. If you're held at gunpoint, you just better scream. So I'm in the back of this restaurant and I'm not being held at gunpoint. I'm in the back of this restaurant and this woman, she ended up ordering this, ordering that. I guess she thought she won the lottery, but then realized she didn't on the way to the window. Because when she got to the window, she was like, I don't have, actually I don't have this. Can you change this? Take that out. So you can only do one edit on a McDonald's screen. You can only edit one thing. Once you start trying to do this, do that, girl, the machine be like, who is you? What you doing? Who you playing around with? So it asks you for a special code. Now, with me just being me, girl, I have been working there for like 3.5 weeks. I think so. So I've been working there for a while. At this point, I knew the code was 0000. Yep, I gave it away. Send me to jail. Sue me. I'll see y'all in court. So I knew the code was 00000. Why would I go call this man that was at the top of the restaurant? Why would I go call him at the top of the restaurant? We in a rush. I need to be able to get this bitch on from my window so I can get the bitch that's behind her. Why would I call this man? So I put 000 in. Now, like I said, he's at the front of the restaurant helping push out orders so he can see things be altered. And of course, to alter something, honey, you must what? Put the code in. So, girl, he's watching things be altered at the front of the restaurant. So I'm altering, taking this out, moving this thing so I can move this bitch on down the line. And he screams, "Put that code in again, you're fired." I'm like, what the fuck? Literally, the whole time, I'm gagged. At this point, I'm heated. Because, who the hell are you screaming at? First of all, we got to rush. I'm working both lines. I don't think y'all understand. Working in McDonald's is crazy. And definitely working both drive-thrus, going back and forth with these folks. And keeping a positive attitude, dealing with crazy people, and working a double, extra, triple, whatever. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm like, who the hell is this man screaming at? I'm trying to do you a favor from not stopping you from what you're doing and put these 3 goddamn zeros in so I can push this bitch on down the line. Who the hell are you screaming? So I'm getting angry. Now, I don't know if you ever had that type of anger, girl, where you had to start crying to calm yourself down. And it just started to come. So that's what I'm getting angry. I remember a tear started to fall because who the fuck are you screaming at? Who? I want to know. Do y'all know? I don't know. Not to this day. We still don't know. So I'm pissed off. I called one of my homegirl managers, the one that didn't work, that didn't work when she was at work. I called one of them, like, girl, look her, Ike. He done pissed me off. That bitch, he done pissed me off. He done pissed me off. Now, good thing for me, she stayed like 2-3 minutes from the restaurant, so she was able to drive and check on me. Now, we had a little rush, but the rush ended up dying down, so she was able to sit out in the parking lot, and so the rush died down. Then she was able to drive over to my window and speak with me. So she pulls up to my window, I open it up, and I am totally trash talking a man that's behind the other wall. So of course, me and her is talking. She's like, I don't even know why he's doing that. Everybody's been using that same ass code. I don't know why. I don't know what his issue with me, baby, but him, God, Jesus, his mama, his daddy, they need to sit down and talk about it. I don't really care to talk about it. So I'm really ranting. I'm really freeing myself. Shout out Fantasia, girl. I'm freeing myself. And I'm really just able to talk to this other manager throughout the window and talk so much shit about the general manager, like I said, behind the other wall. So she talked to me. I talked to her. She gone by her business and she has a great night. Now that night, baby baby, I clocked on. Now come 9 o'clock, and I said, look here, I gotta go. I said, I gotta go. I said, baby, once I start getting that angry to start crying, because that's that murder type of angry, baby, I said, it's time to go. So I remember that night, baby, I got home, I got in the shower, I came in my room, I pulled my laptop out, and I got to searching for jobs. I said, I gotta go. I said, this is not it. This is not it. Oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to go. I couldn't do it. So I'm searching for jobs. I'm like, look here, I'm probably gonna give McDonald's a good probably 2 or 3 more weeks. But baby, I gotta get up out of here. I got to go because this is not for me. And it was actually so bittersweet. Like, of course, I wanted to leave because some of the people that worked there, they were like crazy and psychotic. But I love the customers. Like, I swear to God, I love working with the customers. Because can we talk about the customers before I rant about the rest of this nonsense that happened? The customers love me, and I love the customers. I was the only person to ever get that many tips at a McDonald's. Let me tell you something, baby. The cooks would be in there moving so slow. They would be moving so slow. I guess they didn't want to work. I guess I don't know what they was doing. So they would be moving so slow. The line would be wrapped. Like I said, we have 2 different drive-through options. I'm the only person on the mic. So I would be on the mic and I would be making jokes. I'd be like, y'all, I don't know what's going on in the kitchen. Please just bear with us real quick. I promise I'll be back. I won't leave you hanging. So I would make certain jokes. Like, I would always be so engaging with the customers. Like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And it was always a good key. I can't remember everything I said and did with the customers because, like I said, this happened in 2020. It's been 3 years now. So I can't remember every single thing that I would do with customers, but they live for me. Like, they would be like, was that you on the mic? And I'd be like, yeah, that was me. They were like, I love you. It was so funny. So they were like, I've been eating McDonald's 20, 30 years. Ain't nobody ever gave me that much energy on the drive-through mic. And I'd be like, thank you. Like, literally, like, where people would either, like, they would literally come and they'd be like, where is your manager? Like, where is your manager? I want to speak with them. I'd be like, well, go on to the front window when you get your food. Tell the people up there, and it'll be close to get to the manager because he's at the front of the window, okay? So go up there and tell them. So customers would go and tell my manager how nice I was and how they loved me and I was so entertaining. Like, I absolutely love that. So it was kind of bittersweet having to get on Indeed in the wee hours to start, you know, searching and preparing to leave this job because I absolutely love working with customers and I love this feedback and experience that I had with these customers. Even the ratchet ones, like, girl, you screaming at me over a 4-count nugget? Sat down, please. I loved it. So the next day, you guys, I came in. It was a normal day. Randomly, I don't know how this conversation is brought up. I just have it jotted down in my notes so I can mention this in the story time. I don't know how we got deep in this conversation, but randomly the general manager out of nowhere, he pulls me to the side and tells me, hey, can you you know, not be flamboyant? And I'm like, what can I do? No, like, what can I, like, what is going on? Like, every single thing is getting nitpicked. So I'm like, I was heated then, but I literally let him have that moment. And I didn't even realize how disrespectful and how rude that was until I was able to bring that to my friend's attention later on that day, or either later on whenever I told him about the situation. And I never really understood how disrespectful it was. But baby, he tried it. Baby, he tried it. So he said that sometime in the week, but let's move on to this last damn thing. Like, this is what had me like, oh girl, I'm done. This would have me like, oh girl, let me tell you something. McScrew you, excuse me, excuse this, but do this. This would have me sitting, fuck all y'all. Baby, this would have it, okay? So I'm chilling, I'm resting. It's my off day. I'm minding business. Y'all know I'm getting hit on the desk, baby. I'm minding my business, and I rarely get a call from my manager. Now, look here. I knew he didn't want to call me. I knew this GA was not calling me to ask me how my Sunday evening was going. I knew he was calling me because he needed a favor and he needed me to come in, and like I said, I actually like dealing with the customers. I really love, like, I swear, like, I genuinely do. I loved it, y'all. So I answered the phone, and of course I knew it was gonna be some money call, and he's like, look here, I need you to come in today. And I'm like, well, look here, I can't come in today, but today I had an appointment for therapy. Now, I was in therapy, you guys. At first I was doing Zoom because it was in the height of COVID, but then we had moved to face-to-face meetings. Well, in-home. She was doing in-home visits. She would come to my house once a week. We would do a meeting or whatever. We had been doing that, and this was the day that I had the meeting scheduled. Now I was like, okay, well, I can't come in and make this money today, but I do have a meeting with my therapist at 3 o'clock. I said, look here, at 3 o'clock, baby, I got to meet with my therapist, make sure that I can go on break. He says, yes, of course, you know, 3 o'clock, we can do your therapist, X, Y, and Z. You can go on break. I'll make sure that I have somebody so you can go on break. So I said, okay, I'll be there in 30, 40 minutes because I want to take a shower, whatever. McDonald's was probably like 10 minutes from my house. So I'm like, give me a minute, I'll be there. So I come into work, I'm killing the drive-thru. I'm running it, I'm operating it by myself. I'm taking both orders on both lanes. The first, what is it, lane A, lane B. I'm taking both of them orders. Then I'm checking the person out. I'm giving back their money. They giving them, what is it, receipts, and they change me. I'm doing that, girl. I'm murdering the game, okay? I'm ready to game. Now I look at my phone and my phone said ding. And I said, oh, I forgot I had a therapist meeting today. I said, I'm back here working 9 to 5. I said, I'm working so hard, I forgot I had a therapist meeting today. And she had told me, hey, I'm outside of your job. Because of course I told her, like, hey girl, they come into work, come to my job. And she had no issue to come to my job because, like I said, my job wasn't too far from where I stayed. So she was doing the home visit. She said, okay, I could drive a couple extra minutes to come to your job. So she texted me. She said it's outside. I think it's like 3:02. Time has slipped up. She actually 2 minutes late, honey. So I tell one of the managers, I'm like, hey girl, look here, can you come and take this mic? I spoke with the general manager. I have a meeting today at 3 o'clock. I'm supposed to go on break right now. She said, okay, whoop, whoop, whoop. She takes the mic. She literally takes the mic and she goes to proceed, to start doing my job. Now this was, I can't remember her name, but she was an assistant manager. Me and her really didn't have that much conversation, but I explained the situation. She knew today was my day off, and I told her how the general manager, we spoke on the phone. He told me he okay at 3 o'clock. So at this point, I'm proceeding. I'm running, we're not running. I'm proceeding to go outside. It's time for me to go on out and do my therapist meeting in the car. So the therapist meeting was on 30 minutes. It was supposed to be an hour, but we condemned this to 30 minutes because that's the only time I could have a break. I could have no damn hour breaking on McDonald's. So as I'm heading outside of the McDonald's door, a manager, a little chicken head ass manager bitch in the front. I barely talked to her. She's in the front barking about like, where are you going? What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing? And I explained to her, like, I didn't explain to her in detail what was going on, but I said, I have an appointment. I just went on break. You can go speak with the lady in the back and she'll fill you in on everything. She just barking still. Well, baby, you can do all the bark you want to do, chihuahua. I don't care. Bark. I told you, if you want more details than what I provided you, go ask the bitch with the headset. But as of now, I'm on break. I proceeded on out and I went on out to start my therapist meeting. So I'm sitting in the car. I do my therapist meeting. It's a wonderful meeting and something in my spirit was off. I said, something's going on in this damn job. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I said, something's going on. I said, look here, I don't want you to leave just yet, ma'am. I probably have to fuck somebody up in this McDonald's. I don't know why I'm feeling like this, girl. I don't know why. I told her, like, I genuinely don't know why. I didn't know what, but I said, sit out here. Don't pull off just yet. I tell my therapist that. I said, don't pull off just yet. Now I come on back into the restaurant and the chihuahua that was in the front trying to stop me from leaving out and going on my break, that she said, oh, I didn't approve this. I didn't tell you you'll go on break. Baby, that's for y'all managers to figure it out. Y'all need to start communicating. I'm only doing what was told of me to do. Okay, girl? So y'all need to get a little group chat. Y'all figure it out. So I come back into the McDonald's after I do my 30-minute session, and she's sitting there barking, and she says, well, I called the GM, and the GM said you can go home. Is that right? He said I can go home. He said I can go home, right? Okay. I take a deep breath. I look at that chihuahua in the face and I said, well, tell your general manager, bitch, I'm not returning. I walk to the back and I go clock in. Yes, not clock out, I go clock in. I clock in, I get my things, and I go out to my therapist's car. I never came back to that McDonald's again. Well, I did come get my check, which I'll tell that story in another day because the bitches was trying to hold my check because I had clocked in and they didn't realize that I had ran it up on their ass, girl. On my way out, girl, I walked. I said, well, I need to get a couple things from back here. Then I left back there. I clocked in, clocked on in, and I headed on out to my therapist's car, okay, bitch? Because I was tired. So they was trying to hold my check. It's a whole other story and a whole other day. But this is why, baby, this is why I quit under 2 checks, okay? Baby, I couldn't even get 2 full checks. I could not even get 2 full checks because I absolutely love working with the customers, but the people that was in that job was not it. It was tired. It was not it. It was so tired. So, girl, that is my story time, my McDonald's job from hell, whatever the name this damn story time is. Like I said, shout out my members, Amanda and Mary. Those are the people that motivated me, pushed me to come tell this story today. But yeah, if y'all haven't never seen the story time from me and you really enjoyed this one, honey, and you stayed to the end, make sure you go watch the other story times because I can tell one hell of a story, and bitch, I always got a receipt. So I love y'all so much. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll definitely see y'all very, very soon for something different and something special because, girl, I'm not telling no more story times until this wig get done. Okay, look at it. What's your name, B.O.B.? So they calling you Bob? Bye.